Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. And today it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Jack Russell. He's the vocalist of Jack Russell's Great White. They have a debut album coming out, He Saw It Coming, originally entitled The Gauntlet, on January the 27th of this month. So, like I said before we got started here, your voice is very strong on this album. I'm very impressed with these two songs, Jack. So how's it going, my friend?
Yeah, it's going great, man. Any better, there'd be two of me. I don't think the world is ready for that. But yeah, it's going great. I'm getting really positive response to the album and, the songs at radio, and it's just been a great experience. I mean, it was fun writing the songs. It was fun recording. It was just how it should be. Just fun. We spent a lot of time together, even though, we had just gotten off the road, but it was nice. It was really nice. I mean, I can say I really enjoy hanging out with my band, and we do it on our off time, too. I mean, you think we'd be sick of seeing each other, but it's exactly the opposite, I mean, these guys are my best friends,
Right. What's impressed you the most, Jack, about making the new album, He Saw It Coming? What's caught your eye about it the most, if any?
Well, one of the things that's really been an amazement is, the quality of the tunes. I mean, we're doing stuff that we've never, ever done before. Mm-hmm. Songs like, have you heard the whole record? I imagine you have.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, the songs like the title track, He Saw It Coming. I mean, that was a stretch for us. We've never done anything like that before. Mm-hmm. Or this song, Godspeed. I mean, that in and of itself is just like, wow. There's not a single instrument on it. And that's pretty impressive for a rock band, for a bunch of guys that, are supposed to be coming out of a garage and, all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, there's some serious musicians in my band, Mm-hmm. I mean, they're still musicians, and they're still like, act like musicians, be crazy and wild, and, but it's a different kind of, it's a more mature, refined chaos. You know what I mean? But the songs, I mean, I have to say the songs are really, and the way the band gets along would be the answer for me.
I searched to try to find this, who helped produce on this, and I couldn't find it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to ask Jack right on there. So normally...
Who produced it?
Yeah, who helped produce on this, man?
That was Robbie and myself produced the album.
Oh, okay, cool deal.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great musician. Mm-hmm. He's not only is a total guitar prodigy, he's so musical. I mean, he's so knows all about the techno aspect of the music, but he's not a gearhead. Which is great because those kind of guys bug the heck out of me. Everything's like, oh, this note's so distant. Oh, this note, there's nobody quite fit with that. Mm-hmm. It's like, sometimes if it sounds good and maybe I'm a little flat on something, and I don't want to fix it with the auto-tuner, I'd rather sing it again. But sometimes, you got this great performance that's so emotional, if it's a little bit flat, who cares?
Right.
Performance, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean,
I want people to believe me and understand what it is that I'm talking about.
Robbie Lochner has been with you since the formation of Jack Russell's Great White. How special is to have him part of this with the band and you, man?
He means everything to me. He's my best friend.
Right.
I mean, he really is. I love that guy. I mean, he's just such a wonderful human being. He's a great father. His wife, I love you. I mean, the guy, she's living his dreams now, And, I know he played with Fight, but I don't think they did many arenas. But, it's without him, it wouldn't be the same band. I mean, he's the one constant for me. I mean, we wrote most of the songs together, and there was only a couple of songs that had some other influence on it. But I mean, basically, the album was written by him and I, and we're so like-minded on songs and arrangements and production, and to me, it takes the studio's like a one fanny kitchen, so to speak, Mm-hmm. So I basically kind of like let him do his thing, and then I would listen to it and go, okay, no, change that, change this, change that. Let's try this here. Maybe try it like that, and then let me hear it. You know, and I'd hear it, and I go, okay, now we're close to it or we're on it. You know what I mean? So it was, you know, he's an integral part of the band. I mean, he really is. I mean, he's not only is he the best guitarist I've ever played with, but he's the most knowledgeable musician I've ever played with. You know, and he doesn't reek of, you know, bravado. You know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So many people, man, you know, they got some talent, and all of a sudden they think they're better than somebody else. It's like, dude,
yeah,
that was a gift to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, recognize where it came from and be thankful. You don't have to be an asshole, you know, because that's not how it's meant to be used, you know? I mean, you know, I try to be the best person I could be every day. You know, I don't always succeed, but, you know, I try to be, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people that's got talent, they'll be arrogant assholes to folks. I've seen it before, you know, right from my face, I've seen it before, and it makes you like, well, this guy's an ass.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be tough. That'll be tough.
Any songs off this new album for you, man, that stand out more to you personally, possibly, if any?
Maybe She Moves Me, and I mean, I like every track, and I mean, of course, it was so everything is my favorite. I mean, and it's like, but I mean, really, that song. What else? Sign of the Times, and let's see, My Addiction. You know, I mean, there's the whole record I love. So, I mean, I think my absolute favorite song is Godspeed, the last track, the a cappella track, because I just didn't have the belief that was going to turn out. You know, Robbie goes, once we got done writing the song, like him and I would be in the studio, and they have acoustic guitar, and we're sitting there jamming, and I'm writing the melodies, and I start writing the words, and, you know, we both wrote, you know, and that's another weird thing about him, is like I have no qualms with him working on my vocals with me, which I generally don't let anybody do, you know, but we're so like-minded, it's like, you know, I can let my guard down, let my ego down, the protective walls, they're down, you know what I mean? The shields are down, Mr. Spock. You know? So, you know, it makes it better. It makes it easier. So I have input, you know, on that, and you know, he knows my voice well enough by now to know when I'm doing, you know, I'm doing enough, or if I'm not doing enough. You know, if I sang it ballsy or tube, you know, what I mean, he's just a really good producer on my voice. You know, he knows what I can do, and a lot of times he'll take the line, which, you know, I'll sacrifice sometimes perfect pitch for a perfect line, you know what I mean? And the auto-tuners sometimes, they just don't, and I don't really want to rely on that kind of stuff anyway. If it's flat, I like to sing it over again until it's right, you know?
What do you hope the fans take away from this album? Once they start to listen to it and digest it, Jack, what do you hope that they get from it, man?
Well, I mean, I hope it helps people to, you know, slow down. I hope I just make them think and make them feel and have them slow down a bit. The world needs to slow down a little bit because we're in such a hurry, and I don't know what's to hurry about. Where we're going to go to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not in a race to get into the ground here. You know what I mean? It's like I wish it would just kind of slow down, like it was in the 50s or the 60s, even the 70s. You know?
Yeah.
Now everything is so just like, you know, pack it, we're still cash ready, so they were saying bye. You know, there's no, I don't know. It's just like the cell phones. Like, how could we possibly live without cell phones? Well, somehow, some of us that have been through the era, we managed to get by. Believe it or not.
Yeah, really.
It was a tough struggle, but believe into that. You know, mankind barely could survive. But it wasn't with a cell phone. You know, it's like it was way more peaceful. You know, somebody couldn't call you while you're taking a dump, and you gotta get up and wipe or go through the whole thing, and then you answer it, and it's a wrong number.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man. So you know, I mean, it has become such an integral part of our lives now, and you know, people just. I mean, that's where Sign of the Times came from. Honestly, I was sitting at the airport. with my band, and we're waiting for a flight. And I'm just looking around, and I kind of notice, like everybody is on their cell phone. I look around, and I'm not. I mean, my whole band is. I'm the only one in the whole airport in that area I was at, which is a big area. It's like, several gates.
Right.
It was everybody had their face in the screen except me. And I'm like, wow. And what capped me, what was the capper was right across from me, right across the aisle. They have seats facing each other,
Right.
And there was this married couple. I mean, they were youngish, but, they're still married. And instead of talking to each other, they were texting each other. I'm like, you're right next to the guy. It's like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, to me, I text when I have to, if I absolutely have to. I never do it unless I have to do it. So, which isn't too often these days,
Yeah.
I remember the days riding around in my car, and sometimes it was absolutely necessary. I have to pull over and use a payphone.
Oh,
but
yeah.
generally, you feel like payphones. What's that? Generally, you just wait till you got home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get the answering machine and go, God, I wish I could have called her. I wish I had a cell phone. But,
You're right.
yeah, I mean, there's sometimes when these do come in handy. Like this one time I was driving to pick this chick up I asked her out for a date, gorgeous chick, right? And I was on the freeway and I really had to piss and I didn't have time to stop, So I found this, it was a little deep dish bowl in my car, right?
Yeah.
And I found that and I go, okay, I'll just pee in that. So I peed in that, And I went to throw it out the window, and I just totally spaced the fact that I'm on the freeway doing 70 miles an hour. And, I went to throw the pee out, and of course, it threw it out, and it blew right back on me.
Oh,
and so I'm covered in urine, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, no. So I had to race back to my house and call the chick on the telephone, explain to her what happened, take a shower, get new clothes on. And then I called her back. She said, okay, I'm ready to leave. She goes, you know what? Just forget it. And she hung up. I'm like, oh, no. I had been, anyway.
Jeez.
It's probably better off anyway. So, but it was like, man, I've been trying to fill that, never mind. But I've been trying to get with her for a long time,
What can fans expect at a show from the mighty Jack Russell's Great White, man?
Just a lot of fun. Just watching a hungry band. They're really, really extraordinary. I mean, extraordinary. My guitar player, I allow him to do a solo because he's invented so much stuff that, it gives me the opportunity to show him off. And, it just shows different facets. Like he does like a lot of, classical stuff on the guitar with like 8-finger tapping, as opposed to Eddie's 2-finger. And the guy is just a brilliant guitar player. He knows when to turn the gas on, he knows when to turn it off, and he knows when it needs just a little push or none at all. Or so these guys, it's like the OJ thing, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Well, it fits, So, I can't say enough about him. I cannot say enough about him. Just a great, great, great bunch of guys. I got so blessed when it came down to them and our management and agency. I mean, we've been really blessed. And I just got to keep living life right and doing what I'm supposed to do. And I think everything will come off okay.
People ask me, Jack, if I get, they're like, you got an awesome job. I'm like, look, this isn't a job. It's just a hobby. I do this from my home. It's an online radio. It's a hobby. Like, oh, you get paid for it? No, the only pay that I get is when I get to talk to these musicians that's influenced me on my life, or I get to shake their hand at a show or something and tell them my story, how they affected my life. That's my payment, man. A photo with me and them that's all I could ever ask for. And so that's my payment.
That's easily arranged,
Yeah. Folks, today it's always money, money, money. It's like,
oh yeah, I know. God, I recently was on a one-day, concert. And, let's just forget the fact that this person is a really good friend of mine, And we're like selling our autograph pictures for like $5.
yeah.
which is, it seems fair, I mean, for merch, I mean, it's just going to give it away, because it costs us money, but,
right.
If we could, we would, it was a big deal, we'll make $3 on a signed picture or whatever, after, commissions and everything else, and maybe not even that. But, the fact is, we just want to have something so people can, remember that, remember the night, and, maybe whatever you can make them, I mean, because it's one of those weird things where, the mind never, it's funny how it saves some memories and chucks away some important ones, but you'll remember someday when your shoelace broke.
Yeah.
You're like, what? How do I remember that?
Yeah. I would gladly pay. I would gladly pay the $5. I mean, to any band. I mean, that's well worth it. You got bands that coming out with EPs and they're selling them for $4 and $5 a piece. I mean, that's worth
cool.
it to support them.
Yeah.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said that's what I want to fucking do right there?
Well, this is why it's titled the way it is, and this is why the song is what it is. It was about that exact thing. When I was 5 years old, all right, and this is an absolutely true story, and it's a little lengthy, but
that's fine.
If you want to know the truth, and this explains the album cover and everything else.
Go right ahead.
Okay, when I was 5 years old, I wanted to be an archaeologist, all right, and I wanted to go to Olduvai Gorge in Africa, and I wanted to dig up, old human remains, and I wanted to maybe perhaps discover a new species, That was my plan. So I had, to go to school and then take whatever I was going to take to help me advance in that field. But at the age of 6, my parents bought me an album called Help by the Beatles. And, I don't know how old you are or if you're familiar with the little record players used to have it. I listen to this record, and then I get this fucking extraordinary feeling and knowledge as if the clouds opened up and the angels came down and said, boo, 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 Jack Russell, you're going to be a rock star. Boo, boo, boo. You know what I mean? It was like that. Mm-hmm. And I was walking home with a friend of mine. I'm going, that was heavy, man. He's like, what are you talking about? So anyway, so I'm in the room, and I'm like, this happens. I'm like, oh, my God. So I'm going to be a rock star. And I knew it, man. I knew it. Mm-hmm. But here at 6 years old, what do you do with that information besides just drop your jaw, And so I kind of got myself together and then got used to the idea, and I thought, wow, this is going to be really cool, So ever since that moment, my life started to change, and I look back, and I just did this the other day. I looked back at my life, and I went back to, my son, my real son, who was born after. Anyway, I had that knowledge, and then my life started changing. Like we moved to a place called Whittier, which is like 20 miles away. And I remember one day being out in the backyard. I was like 11 years old, and I hear this guy. I hear some guitar playing on the street above me, and he was playing Suffragette City by David Bowie, So I walked behind, I walked around the corner and walked up his driveway to the garage, and I started pounding on the door. And he said, hey, man. I go, hey, I live on your street and down below, and I heard you playing guitar. It was you, right? He goes, yeah. I go, well, my name's Jack, and I live right down there, and I think maybe we could put a band together. I sing. He goes, you sing? I go, yeah. He goes, let me hear you sing. I go, well, I don't have a microphone or anything yet, but, you get one. And he goes, okay, so let's sing through my mic for now, So we did a couple songs. He was like, wow, man, you sound really good, I go, oh, cool, thank you. And so we kept in touch, and he knew some guys from school. He was in high school, right? Now I'm 11 years old. He was a freshman, and so there was a little age gap there, But I mean, they just, they thought I was so good, they didn't really care. It was like, who cares, So we got together, started playing, and we never really. We actually did one show, I think, and it was a place called Parnell Park in La Mirada, and we played all our own original stuff, and people just, blown away that we had written songs, and of course we did cover stuff too, but here's, young kids playing, original tunes, and, so I went through band to band to band until I met Mark in 1977, and basically what the song is about, okay, it's about future sight. the cover represents me and Robbie as kids, and there's this pirate sage who's showing us our future, which is him and I on stage and thousands of people in front of us. And that's what it was about. That's what the cover's about. He saw it coming. And the song is about that story too, but it starts where the little skit leaves off. It's like, you know, I forget the lyric right now off the top of my head, but anyways, just the whole song's about, you know, you saw it coming and he knew it was coming, and you know, it's really cool. It's a really autobiographical song, and as they all are, except for Spy vs. Spy. I was never with the CIA or anything. So, you know, it's just a you know, a really weird circumstance in my life. You know, that I was given that, and I think if I wasn't, I may have not have. When things got hard, I may have just, you know, given up. You know. Certainly I wouldn't arrive at this place and, you know, be okay with it, you know.
Folks, you got to check this band out. Jack Russell's Great White. Let me tell you something. Really proud of Jack for still being around and doing what he loves to do. This album comes out January the 27th.
27.
And plus...
Just like my age.
Hey, we're never old. Never old, my friend. They got a video for Sign of the Times that's going to be premiering January the 19th. So you want to check that out as well. Jack, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, keep in touch with tour dates? How can they do that?
You know, you can go onto our Facebook, Jack Russell's Great White Facebook, or you can go onto jackrussellsgreatwhite.com, which is the website. You know, and yeah, thanks for reminding me to pitch my own record. Jesus. You know, and so yeah, you can check it out there. You can go to Pledge Music through one of our sites, and you know, you pick up a CD. You can pick up instant download of some of the songs or all the songs. I don't remember, but there's a lot of like one of a kind stuff that you can purchase on that. Like there's handwritten lyrics for every song that I've written on the album. The lyrics I actually used to sing off of. You know, I mean, I had them on little, you know, those little music stands. Yeah. And if you know, if I didn't remember a lyric, I'd revert to the stand and use that. You know, so that's for sale. We've got T-shirts. We got ladies' shirts. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff, necklaces, and you know, just everything you could think of will be on that. And there's a lot of one only things. I mean, so yeah, it's really cool. They got, and you can get your, I think you can get an LP with it, you know, and an actual vinyl, because we're pressing it in vinyl too. So which is really awesome. I can't wait to hear it. You know, on vinyl. I mean, there's something about acetate, you know, that really, you know, or the tape itself, you know, has you know, there's just this thing about it where it's. You know, tape causes natural tape compression. You know, that's why I like analog better than digital. I mean, digital is easier, it's faster, there's definitely some advantages to it, but, you know, if I had to compare it in a way people could understand, it would be like digital is like a straight, hardback wooden chair, and analog is like a nice, big, cushy beanbag on your ears. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's really a great format, and pretty much mostly compresses only the bass and the drums. I'm sorry, the vocals and the drums. And it gives it that warmth, you know, that you wouldn't have from digital. So that's why I prefer analog. And I like album covers because, you know, album cover is an album cover, and they used to be really cool because there was always, you know what I mean, like, look at the cover for, oh God, what was it? Look at any Yes album that Roger Dean used to do, how beautiful those covers were. Or, you know, just bizarre covers like Zeppelin 4, you know, the old man with a bunch of sticks on his back and he's carrying along, you know, and it's like, wow, just amazing, you know.
Hey, before I let you go, good sir, will you care to do a promo for my show?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right. Hey, this is Jack Russell from Jack Russell's Great White, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Hang on, tune in, stick around, love it.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, Jack. I really appreciate it, man.
Oh, hey, thanks, sir.